Hi everyone, my name is Rehan Quadri and I'm a senior medical student at GW and I'm the CEO and founder of Sensamir. Sensamir is a dietary supplement designed to restore lost taste sensation in cancer patients caused by chemo and radiation therapy. I've developed the product and the company over the last 2 years, and this is my Chief Marketing Officer, Awais Khalid. Today we're seeking your investment to help bring Sensamir to these patients in need. So each year, 1.2 million cancer patients undergo treatment. And many of the people in this room are aware of that either through personal experience, a family member, or a friend. But I want you to imagine that you've been diagnosed with cancer and that now you're beginning cancer therapy, chemo and radiation. And quickly into it, you notice that you develop terrible nausea, terrible vomiting, hair loss, and worst of all, you lose your ability to taste and enjoy food. Taste alterations is actually one of the most common side effects of chemo and radiation therapy, and it's devastating. It generally occurs because the chemo and radiation therapy kills rapidly dividing cells throughout the body. And in targeting the cancer cell, it collaterally damages taste buds, salivary glands, and nerves in the mouth responsible for these patients to be able to eat and enjoy food. In addition, it actually produces unpleasant and nauseating chemicals that kind of sit within the mouth and persist. Consequently, these patients report that food and even water actually taste metallic and bitter, like they're putting a key, a battery, or just sucking on a lemon the entire time they're eating. And this lasts for about 1.5 years, and it does heal on its own after the therapy is stopped, but this 1.5 years is actually the critical period in which if they don't consume the adequate nutrition, their recovery suffers significantly, and their quality of life is actually significantly impaired. And this is supported by a study that was done at a prominent Shikoku Cancer Center in Japan, and they found that actually 90% of cancer patients with taste alterations, of the 156 they found, developed anorexia and had an impaired recovery. And 70% of them were significantly distressed in a life-altering way. Now I want you to go ahead and try one of the slices of the lemon that's in front of you. And imagine if for 1.5 years, all the food that you ate tasted just like that. Would you be able to maintain your weight just to stay healthy? Not just to fight cancer, but just to stay healthy and eat enough food every day. And what's the prevalence of this in the population? Conservative estimates actually say 600 to 800,000 of the patients that undergo cancer therapy develop taste alterations. And our sources say that it actually can even be higher than that. So what's our solution? The Sensamir solution is a targeted, novelly designed supplement that contains multiple active ingredients that have already been clinically proven for this purpose and this effect. And it's safe and easy to use. We place this potent formulation into a unique tablet that breaks down to immediately restore taste sensation in patients and combat long-term damage, hopefully shortening the time period that they experience taste loss and ensuring good recovery. So now I want you to go ahead and open the packet in front of you and take one of the tablets. You have 2 in case you swallow this one immediately, but do not swallow the tablet immediately. Go ahead and break the tablet up in your mouth and do your best to distribute it evenly. You want it to touch your tongue and your palate and get it all throughout your mouth. And keep it in your mouth for 30 seconds and you will be prompted when you can go ahead and swallow it. Now what's going on as this is happening? What are the effects of Sensamir? Well, first off, it restores your taste sensation, and it takes about a 2 or 3 minute delay after you take the product to restore the taste sensation. It increases salivation significantly in these patients' mouth, taking care of the dry mouth. And it also removes and masks the bad taste that exists through overwhelming neuronal stimulation for good sensations and good taste. And this effect will last for an hour after the patient's taken Sensamir, allowing them to enjoy meals throughout the day whenever they need to eat. And in the long term, if they continue taking Sensamir in a regular regimen, it will actually potentiate its effects, repair the damage, and each time they take it, they'll get an enhanced taste sensation. So if you actually take the second pill in this bag, you will notice even more strong taste afterwards. Our research is obviously proprietary, so we can't discuss the full formulation here today because we are filing for a provisional patent. And we already meet FDA regulations to be a safe dietary supplement sold over the counter that is non-prescription. So now go ahead and ingest the tablet and hold tight, and we'll let you know when you can try the next slice of lemon to see the difference. So I'm going to pass it over to Awais, my marketing officer, to talk about the industry that we're sold in.
Thanks, Rehan. So Sensamir is going to be marketed and sold in the US cancer therapy industry, which consists of 2 major sectors. The first one being the medical oncology sector, and the second, the surgical oncology sector. Our product focus is going to be in the medical oncology sector, which consists of 2 subsections of prescription, which consists of radiation and chemotherapy, and the complementary alternative medicine that consists of supplements in which Sensamir fits in. And it will be used to combat the side effects through the prescribed chemotherapy and radiation. Now, over the United States, we have 1,500 cancer centers that are staffed by oncologists and nursing staff that take care and administer the treatments of patients and also monitor the side effects of these patients. And they treat up to 1.2 million patients per year. Now, the average cost per patient is up to $2,000 and is covered by Medicare. And as of 2013, you can see that the cancer therapy sales have reached around about $100 billion as well. Now, these cancer centers, from our official surveys and the results we've received, there's a patient growth of 1,200 patients per year per center. So that's huge. And also, along with the services provided at the cancer centers of chemotherapy and radiation, there's NIH-funded clinical trials and nutritional counseling that make these cancer centers ideal for our product trials and demos. Over to you, Ron.
So I'm going to talk about the use of supplements in cancer centers. So as always said, they fall under CAM, or complementary alternative medicine, and they're actually heavily used within cancer therapy to treat side effects. Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, one of the most prominent centers in the country, found that from 1990 to 1997, cancer patients actually spent $27 billion on these therapies to help manage their side effects. In addition, in 2002, 80% of these patients used CAM to manage some side effect from chemotherapy. Specialty supplements in general, like Sensamir, are sold through direct marketing, and the market in 2002 was $482 million and has now reached $1.5 billion in 2002 and projected to get to $20 billion in 2020. So there's significant evidence that these patients use, and not only use it, but spend a significant amount of money to resolve these problems. But not only are the patients seeking it out, the providers that they seek care from also recommend that they use these supplements. In 2009, 79% of physicians and 82% of nurses recommended that a patient, in conjunction with prescription, take a supplement to help them manage their side effects. So who are our competitors? What's out there? There is 2 prescription medications called Evozac and Salogen, but they only address salivation and not taste. There are a few specialty clinics with time-consuming regimens that only work in select patient populations, and I've had a lot of patients say that it didn't give me any benefit. There are strict diets that are impossible to follow and only work if a patient can tolerate the foods within the diet. There are generic companies that make various products and say, yes, it'll increase your salivation and do this, but it's all hearsay. None of their products have been proven by evidence. And there's one specialty supplement company called Thorne Research that has an oncology supplement line, but has not developed a product for taste loss in this patients. In fact, the foremost review on abnormal taste in cancer patients stated that there are marginally useful products, but there is really no solution within this market. And thus, the bottom line is that no product like Sensamir has been designed to treat and taste alterations in this patient population. So now I want you to go ahead and try the other slice of lemon so you can appreciate the effects that will allow patients to enjoy food and experience things in a better way. And if you don't experience the effect now, go ahead and try the other tablet because you might have swallowed it a little too fast, and it takes a little bit of a delay to trigger it. It works. It works. So what's our advantage in this market? So as you already see, we have a very unique product, and it fits this market perfectly. It's proven by data. It has support from oncologists in the field, particularly in many cancer centers in Texas in this area. Immediate results, it's patentable, and it has a high value proposition. Our manufacturing capabilities are already underway, and we have a highly scalable product to meet the market, and at the moment we can produce enough tablets to serve 25,000 patients monthly. In addition, we have strong personnel, which you will see later, and we have access to almost every cancer center in the country, along with the experts necessary to execute our business plan. And most importantly, we have a future pipeline of products that can tap into a potential market of 21 million patients with taste alterations outside of the cancer industry, including Alzheimer's, pediatric patients that need to take medications, and autoimmune diseases like Sjogren's syndrome. Now, a little bit about our team. I'm Rehan, you guys have all met me, and I've previously started a medical small business, and I have developed my own chemotherapeutic molecules in undergrad. Awais is our chief marketing officer, and he's a technical marketing engineer for Cisco Systems. Muin is our business accountant, and he is our chief financial officer. And Humair is a resident at Georgetown with a focus in surgical oncology, and he's our chief medical officer. Our board of advisors consists of an experts panel of prominent figures in the oncology field and business minds that are renowned throughout medicine and throughout finance. Now, a little bit about our operations plan. So we start off by formulating our product, we do research on that formulation, and then we ensure that we have IP protection before we move forward. From there, we send that formulation to our suppliers. All of our suppliers are independently based in the United States, and they produce raw materials that are medical grade. They have to be medical grade to ensure allergen issues and different things. From there, they ship it directly to our manufacturer based in Maryland. That manufacturer has an advanced production facility with a proprietary method to actually make dietary supplements of this kind. He bottles, packages, labels, and actually does verification testing for one fixed price, which was very difficult to negotiate. And he then ships that to our storage facility, which is located in Baltimore. From there, we use UPS small business shipping to distribute it to patients, and the patients purchase the products on our website and at the cancer centers through direct marketing. We constantly take user feedback throughout this process through a consumer portal on our website and live at the cancer centers to enhance our research, enhance our product, and explore down our pipeline for other products that are out there. So a little bit about the research and IP that we have so far. Although the product is already proven, we actually are going to use the bulk of the funding to do our first clinical trial. It's a small study that will take 4 to 6 months and cost about $15,000, but will yield huge results. We'll be able to show Sensamir, which oncologists are very confident that we've talked to about our product, that we can produce novel health endpoints in these cancer patients that actually benefit their recovery and therapy. This will allow us to publish in prominent cancer journals and establish Sensamir as the industry standard for taste alterations in cancer patients. From there, we'll get trust among the physicians and nurses. They will stock and sell our product in their centers. And in addition, we can potentially generate insurance reimbursement. And in terms of our patent, we're in the process of filing for a provisional patent, and the data will give us a very robust full patent to protect us for years to come. Now I'm going to give it to Awais to talk about the marketing.
Thanks, Rehan. So as Rehan alluded, our marketing strategy is to directly go to the consumer, that is the patient, and show them what our product can do. How we can do that, we can go to the cancer centers and basically show a case of our product, give them brochures, have an information session, give them a demo of our product. We can also go into sponsor charity events to create awareness amongst them. We'll also engage the physicians and the nursing staff, basically who administer the care of the patients, and tell them about our product. Go to health conventions, basically present our product over there, give demos over there so they know that it works, and then they can recommend it to their patients. And lastly, we can use social media to advertise our whole marketing campaign as well. So the target market, who do we have? The patients are usually fall in the range from 50 to 70 years, and they have symptoms, as Rehan mentioned earlier, of taste loss around about 1.5 years. And there's a constant influx of patients round about from 600,000 to 800,000 patients per year at the cancer centers. And our initial market right now, which is going to be, we're targeting 2015, is going to be the DC metropolitan area, which round about has 20 to 30,000 patients spread out across 85 cancer centers. And we'll have a sales force that's going to go out to these cancer centers and basically present our product and also do the demos for the patients. Lastly, the production cost for our tablet is 60 cents per tablet, and it's supposed to be consumed 3 times a day with your meal. And it can be purchased through our website. And it has a weekly, monthly, or yearly supply. And the pricing, we've based it on 3 key elements. Number 1, and the most important being the estimated supplement spending, which is the stat we took. It's around about $2,000 per year per patient. Also, we are also evaluating the value-based approach to this, and also we have quotes on affordability from the cancer centers that tell us how, on average, each patient spends on supplements as well.
So a little bit about our financial projections. So we're hoping to break even in 2016 and generate $1.3 million in revenue based off conservative estimates of a small portion of reaching DC metropolitan area. And then in 2018, when we expand beyond, we'll generate $5.3 million in revenue, and gradually our costs will increase as our market increases with associated products. This is our timeline. We hope to begin sales this next February, marketing to the metropolitan area, and we know that we can do that. It's a very realistic date. And then in 2017, we'd like to expand beyond this area to other states in the country, other states in the United States. This year, we require $50,000 for the following fees, and next year, we're going to require $200,000 to do our full production run and expand marketing to other patients in the area. So why are we the right choice? We're a safe, targeted product that's already formulated and ready for production. We're a cheap solution in a market that's desperately in need. We have a strong team to get the job done. We have an executable plan underway with research and patent protection, and a very promising financial future with our pipeline. Thank you for listening, and I hope you invest.
Thank you very much. Also, if you can, that's our final.
And this is, sorry, we're supposed to pass around. This is what the final product will look like. So this is a lab sample for testing. And this is what the final product will look like. You can open the bottle. There's a few tablets in there.
What can go wrong?
So the only side effect we found in the literature from our ingredients is one of the prosalvants. If you take over 6 grams of it, you can get pretty bad diarrhea, and that's pretty much it. I don't really think there's any other problems that occur from the supplement, at least that's in the literature now. We're obviously going to keep doing research to figure out if there are any side effects. We always poll users for that, and that's part of our feedback mechanism. So,
how will you maintain your market share against other known brands?
well, by having the patent, we can do that because they won't be able to sell the product within this industry. So we will become the standard with that. So that's our strategy for protection.
Did you say this requires FDA approval, or is it sold as a supplement?
So as a supplement, basically, the FDA defines them as nutrients that are already safe within the diet. So the approval is, so there's an interesting law that passed in 1994 called DSHEA, and that states that if the product was within the diet or used in any purpose at all prior to 1994, it can be sold over the counter without any further testing. So all of our ingredients fall within that category. But we actually do have safety and efficacy testing of the product anyway. So if the FDA did query us, we could provide them with that data.
I saw initially, if I could add on, that you were going to have an initial sales force, I think, of 3. Is that correct?
For this area, yeah, it would require 3 to reach all the cancer centers.
You know, I don't understand why for your chain, in terms of selling, you don't use medical supply jobbers and things of that nature for your distribution, and you could initially have a much larger distribution chain.
We're looking at different alleyways, kind of as one of the guys who came and spoke earlier to give us advice. We're basing all of our projections off the finances that we have, and most of the money is money that I've put in. It's about $15,000. So that sales force is a realistic number of what we can actually hire. Those companies are actually very expensive to get on board, and we looked into that. So we're hoping to go that direction, but at the moment, just to be realistic, that's kind of where we're at with that sales force.
Okay. 2 questions for you. The experience that I just had with this lemon made it very, very sweet. It was quite pleasant. Yeah. But what does it do to all other types of foods for savory, salty?
So that's interesting. We can't talk too much about it because a lot of that's going in our patent. But how it functions is that it stimulates receptors, and in the second messenger system, those receptors stimulate other receptors. So salt is enhanced, sweet is enhanced, and bitter is suppressed, in essence. So it's mainly salty and sweet, and so we're at least giving the patients something from having nothing, and we're giving them the ability to enjoy 2 of, I would say, the most basic tastes that we have. And then we're working on adding other products to the formulation to make new things in our pipeline to address the other senses of taste. So hopefully we can have a broader spectrum by the time things are done.
Another quick question. Obviously, popular today is organic and all natural, et cetera. So how are you intend to address that, assuming that there are some chemicals or in the product?
We are a medical grade supplement, so organic doesn't really fall into our category. Ours is entirely based off of research and outcomes data. That is a marketing strategy we looked at in keeping the product organic, but the patients would suffer. They wouldn't gain the benefit of the product just keeping that label. And I didn't feel that it was wise for us to invest in that marketing strategy at the compromise of the patient. The patient's basically result of the product. So there are certain ingredients we need to add, like binders and certain things that help the product dissolve using our patented technology to really get a robust response from the patient, and it doesn't allow us to label it as organic. But our manufacturer was somewhat pushing us to do that, and we kind of went the other direction.
Let me ask another question. We typically, and it's been known in the research, that we lose half our taste buds by the time we reach a chronological age of 60. Is there any supplemental market for this in the geriatric group later on, just to increase quality of life?
Yes, so we are actually, so we're making a gum for that purpose.
Okay.
That's another product we have in our pipeline for geriatric patients. They would chew the gum and it would basically have the same effect. So it would allow them to enhance taste response. That we're trying to work out the kinks with our manufacturer because it requires a special pressing method to make it because the materials are very delicate. So once we get that finalized, then we'll try to get that product out as soon as possible.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. What a great feature.
Thank you.